This is a supplementary video to kind of fill in some gaps and answer some questions that I had heard about the Google Calendar. There is a better way to do it. Thankfully, Clara was able to kind of show me something that I had missed. So now I'd like to just kind of go through and show you how to maintain your calendars here on Drive. So you can get back to your calendar by finding the SPPS apps login again. Once you're here on this site, you can click that sign in. If you're not signed in, it'll prompt you. If you are signed in, it'll just bring you back to this landing page. And once you're here, click on Calendar. Now, my calendars are already set up here on the side. When you first come in, your calendar will probably just have your name there. And what you're going to want to do first is go to pardon me, Calendar Settings, and then change this from your name and just change it to Calendar. Unfortunately, one of the calendars, you can't just delete that and add something in new. That'll always default, and I just found it easier to change that to calendar. This blue color is going to be for crew, so you can change that to any color that you want by clicking that arrow and changing the color. When you're ready to add more, up here, the drop-down arrow next to where it says My Calendars, you just click that, and then that's pretty simple. Create new calendar, and then name it. If I were going to do another class, website, class, everything just stays here. Create it. This part is weird. It takes a little while, so make sure that it says Changes Saved. And then once you're there, click a color that is different enough from your other colors so that they're not too confusing to the eye. And then just go through and make those calendars there. You're going to want to make sure that they're toggled on. So these are all on. This one is off. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and Calendar Settings. In case you do something wrong, you can go Calendar Settings. And then down here, permanently delete this calendar. Yes, delete. So there you go. And you want to also make sure that they're shared. So go through, make sure that make this calendar public. Share this with others. So make sure that that's there. Otherwise, only people with the SPPS apps account will see it. So make sure that make this calendar public. And yeah, go through and you do that. One thing that I did to test was I went to the field work in September. And I put it in color-coded. So blue is kind of crew, but it's also going to be my general sort of school-wide stuff that's important to have on there. The red is 6th grade, and then the 9th and 10th will be yellow. So this is a good way to test it. You can put in the preps that you teach and crew with the relevant field work that way. So if you're going to do that, the best way I've found is to do it up here. Up here doesn't assign a specific time with it. If it's going to be an all-day thing, you click that. Event is highlighted, and then you would say midterm test. And then you do the drop-down menu to select the calendar that you want. Remember, just calendar is going to be crew and general school, and then you'll name the other ones as your prep. And then you create the event. Okay. You can also go back in if you realize that the midterm is going to be over 2 days with an A and a B. You can change the day here. So 9:30, and then 10:01, save, and then you'll see that it is both days. So I don't think that, nope, you can drag it to move it, but you can't just pull it to make it longer. So that's what you can do. If you realize you did an error, you can delete. So this is what you'll do. One thing that we're recommending is if you do have a project, let's say that I know that with my 6th grade, now I'm all the way out in Thursday the 30th. So Thursday the 30th, if I say the event is personal narrative due, what I would want to do is in the description here, provide a link to the actual document in Google Drive. So if you're on the website, then you can find in the drive, I don't think I have it built yet, but Q1, maybe I do. Yeah, so then you can find the URL for it here, copy that up in the address bar, and just put that into the description, and then they'll be able to know
it's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock. That's what time it is. Sorry, my computer does that so I don't lose track of the time when I'm working. Okay, so you save that, and then you click on that personal narrative due today. That's there. The other thing that's helpful, whoops, and this is the wrong. If you do forget to put it in the right calendar, you can just go back into edit and then do the drop down there. So I'm sure that'll happen to me many, many more times. So personal narrative is due on the 30th. And then we also want to put down when students and parents can expect to receive feedback. So I'm going to go 2 weeks out just to give myself enough time for ELA. Personal narrative feedback, feedback given. I suppose you could say grade given, personal narrative, revisions due, something like that, just so that they can look out and they will see on the calendar then that within 2 weeks they should have feedback and a grade given in the notebook that way. So that's everything on the calendar, and now I'd like to just show you quickly how to put this into your website. So if we go to our landing page where our calendar is, if you don't yet have a calendar, what you need to do is edit. Also, one thing that I saw is I do have a little thing here in a caret that is called Teacher Note. Be sure that you delete that. There's something that says Teacher Note and gives you instructions on how to add it, but I saw that a couple people forgot to delete that, so be sure that you delete it. And I already have this set up, so just ignore this down here, pretend that that doesn't exist, and you go Insert, Calendar. In this part, you need to be careful. The reason that I named this calendar instead of crew is because whatever calendar you pick first when you're adding these calendars in is what it's automatically going to have as the heading on the calendar. So this is a little bit of a workaround so that folks aren't confused when they just see crew and they think that everything is crew only. So just name it something general and just remember that that's going to be crew. So you name it calendar. Make sure you do that one first. Select. Display another calendar. And then you just go in order. 6th grade, display another calendar, 9th grade, and once you have all 3 calendars in there, you want to make sure that for include title, you either unclick it or you just make sure that it says calendar. So I'm just going to unclick it. And the other stuff you can just leave. Just make sure that you've got the calendars there. Go through and add them for all of your preps, then save. The other thing that you'll want to do then, once you know your colors, you can click that settings again to get that. So I've got blue for crew, red for 6, and then yellow for 10. And then what I did for this was just kind of a simple key. The key won't upload into it with your calendar, so you'll have to make your own. So just go through, do a blue text for crew, tab twice, do the red for 6th grade, and then do the yellow for 9th and 10th grade. And then you can organize that however you want. You may want to make the font a little bit bigger so that everybody can see. Whoops, I want to do that. So that everybody can see it. And then save. And then check your little field work experiment. That's kind of why I said you should build that so this way you can check, yep. And then you see here that everything is there. It just says calendar. It doesn't have any sheets. I'm sorry, any references to old classes. I don't know why I said sheets. And you've got the key there. So this is what it looks like. I forgot to unclick that. Don't add a title. So it says Kevin's calendar there, but I'm going to go back through and just delete that right now because you don't need to have that twice. So, and then when you add stuff to it, it'll automatically just update. So if I'm going to add something to that September 27th, Saturday, create event, then you should be able to refresh. Yep, and it'll be right there. So if you ever forget how to get there, you can just Google SPPS apps again and it'll bring you to that start page if you're already logged in. And you just click calendar. So if there's any questions, definitely email me. And if you haven't already yet, please share with me your website. So thanks, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Or if you don't watch this today, I'll see you whenever the next time it is that I'll see you.